Hello, welcome to our NFL football show. I'm Chuck Averill along with Stephen Fellinger and Hunter Mulholland. We have a good amount of topics today, and we're just going to jump right into it. First, we're going to start with some teams to watch or some surprise teams.
Well, last year, after the Jimmy Garoppolo trade, the 49ers went 5-0. I can see them continuing to play well under the leadership of Garoppolo, who has been under Tom Brady's wing for the past couple of years. Uh, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a very, very good quarterback for that team. He fits the offense well, and he's just going to do what he did last year and lead them to a lot of wins this year. I could see them making the playoffs. Now, on the AFC side, the Dolphins didn't have a great year last year. They had injuries. Um, their starting quarterback was out for the year. But with Tannehill in, they did make the playoffs a few years ago, and the team looks pretty much the same, minus a couple of two key pieces in Landry and Ajayi, but Kenyon Drake seems to be filling that hole just fine. So, just it looks about the same team. I can see them making the playoffs again, but not a lot of people have them because they're in such a tough division with the Patriots leading it.
I definitely think the 49ers are going to be a team to watch this upcoming NFL season. Jimmy Garoppolo is 7-0 in all of his starts, went behind a great mentor, and possibly the best person to watch if you want to learn football in Tom Brady. And don't forget, they added Richard Sherman in the offseason to boost up their defense. Sure, they lost Carlos Hyde, but I think they still have enough offensive weapons to make the playoffs and maybe even a deep run in the playoffs. Who knows?
This has pretty much been a tradition for me. I'm just going to say the Dolphins again. You're only bound to get better when Jay Cutler's not your quarterback. And Tannehill's coming back. He's a great quarterback. I'm excited to see what the Dolphins can do. Now, on to our AFC South winner.
Man, that's a good division. Honestly, I think whoever doesn't win that division is going to be a wild card team. The Jags, their defense is just so much better than a lot of defenses in the league. I feel like they're going to win that division. They're going to win that division by one or two games, and those two games could be the two games that they play against the Titans. They're just a very, very well-rounded team. Blake Bortles seemed to have started to become a better quarterback. He choked up in the playoffs, but Blake Bortles had an amazing season last season, and I'm just excited to see what the Jags can do next year.
I agree with you, Hunter. The Titans have a really good team, but I think the Jags are going to pull it out. Their defense is just incredible. Blake Bortles, I think, took the next step last season, and he has weapons around him. However, a team that not many people are talking about that I think could surprise in the AFC South, don't sleep on the Houston Texans. They still have a great defense, possibly one of the best in the league. And Deshaun Watson, before he got hurt, was on an absolute tear. So, I think it's going to be Jags or Titans between the two that win, but I think the Houston Texans could come within a couple of games.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Jags as well. Their defense is just so good. And we all know the term defense wins championships, and they can only improve from here, so I'd have to go with them. Now, on to our more recent topic, what's going on with LeSean McCoy?
Well, we've all seen the pictures. We've all heard the stories. LeSean McCoy is being accused of beating his girlfriend, his dog to kidney failure, and his son. LeSean McCoy is a really, really good running back. But with a situation like this, you have to think, okay, well, if you're the Bills, what do you do? Do you play it out, wait it out, or do you come with the hammer and say, you're not playing for us next season no matter what, because we don't know what's going to happen? Honestly, I feel like they're going to hold on to him until something comes down from the NFL. It's just a bad situation. I don't know personally. I don't know if he did it, but it's just a bad situation. He's being accused of something that he might not have done, but he also might have. And either way, it's just a bad situation for the Bills or LeSean McCoy.
I think there's two ways you can ask this question with LeSean McCoy. What I think's going to happen and what should happen. In my opinion, what should happen, I think LeSean McCoy, even though he's a very talented running back, the pictures are out there, the story's out. The team should make some sort of statement saying what LeSean McCoy did was wrong. Maybe bench him for like the first couple of games of the season, like really send a message, come down with an iron fist. What I think is going to happen, the Bills need LeSean McCoy. He's possibly the best player on that team, and the NFL has had a tendency of being light on these types of accusations. Just look at the Jameis Winston accusation just, I think it was like a week ago.
Before the entire appeal there.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, the Bills are just in a very tight situation. If he doesn't get suspended, the Bills are not going to do anything.
I agree, but I think they should.
Yeah, they probably should.
Yeah, this is a very tough situation for the Bills and McCoy because he's one of their best players on the team, and it's just not really great because we've seen a history of suspensions in the NFL, and some are really light, but this one's going to be really hard to judge, though. And now we will end with our Super Bowl predictions.
I got the Saints and I got the Jags. The Jags defense last year, showed amazing improvement, and it's only going to get better. Yeah, they lost Hearns and Robinson, but if Bortles plays like he did last year before the playoffs, I can see them making a run, and I can see them taking that defense stopping New England. The Saints are a good team. The boneheaded mistake in the NFC playoffs just killed them. If they don't do that, we might have seen the Saints and the Pats in the Super Bowl last year. But honestly, I think the Saints are probably going to end up winning that. But another team to watch would be the Eagles, especially with Carson Wentz coming back.
I think there's a bunch of threats, and I think this might be one of the first years in a while where there's multiple contenders, I feel like, in both the AFC and the NFC. You got any team led by Tom Brady is automatically a Super Bowl contender. The Jaguars, I think, have an improved offense, and their defense is absolutely stellar. Like you said, the Saints they could have been in the Super Bowl last year for all we know if all they did was make a tackle. The Eagles are going to be scary with all that they have and Carson Wentz coming back. But in the end, I think it's going to be Saints over the Pats. I just think the Saints have an improved defense. Drew Brees obviously is playing fantastic, and then their run game has completely improved with Kamara and Ingram, two of the top, possibly the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Hunter and say Saints and Jags because if you look at the Saints' mistake, they could have been there. And for the Jags, when you look, this team was a little bit of a surprise last year. But defense, if you look at the Broncos when they won, Peyton Manning didn't play great in the Super Bowl. Their defense won them that championship. And the Jags have a pretty good offense as well. But the defense always comes through when you need it to go for. So I will pick the Jags to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just they're a good team. So. For my partners, Chuck Abrell and Steven Fellinger, I'm Hunter Mulholland. Good night.